since I posted a video, but weather's been crappy. I haven't been doing too much, just working and tinkering with the cars here and there, but nothing too exciting. So we are on our way to the track, finally. This is the first day for Cordova to open up finally, so we have some pretty cool racing coming up the next 2 weeks. Some pretty cool street car classes. The Firebird's gonna hit 2 of those races, and then we're gonna race the S10 the second week. So we're gonna try to race both cars in 2 weeks. Pretty cool stuff coming up. So we're in the Firebird. We're on our way to the track. Since we've talked last on my last video, which was like a month ago, I had to put another transmission in the car. Even though I bought a brand new one last time, I already messed it up, and finally I pulled the plug and we went to a manual valve body with a trans brake. So hopefully I could keep a transmission in this thing and keep it happy. It was costing me a lot of time and a lot of money to try to keep it vacuum actuated, auto. It just wasn't worth it anymore. So finally we did the thing. This transmission should be good and strong, should hold all the power that this car should make. We still have the LH6, which is basically an LC9, 243 heads, turbo cam, all that stuff is the same. The 80 mil turbo, we're on about 16, 17 pounds of boost right now. Today's goal is to maybe just try to get 3 1/8 mile hits. The goal I would like to see is get a better 60 foot than I did last year when I went a 907 quarter mile. The 60 foot on that was 147, which was pretty good. That was on a foot brake. I would like to beat that today. So I'll start off with 1 or 2 60 foot launches to try to get the 2-step and the trans brake dialed in. Hopefully get me a little closer for next weekend, so I'm not kind of going in blind. So we're almost to the track. We got Jeff behind us in the Blazer. Justin's there right now. I got a charged laptop full of fuel. I got my race suit. Let's go racing. Alright guys, we made it to the track, and I already went through tech, just pretty much drove straight through, didn't even have to stop. And just looking at the computer right now, just trying to figure out where I'm going to start with this. I think, if we can get it zoomed in here, I think for the 2-step launch, we're going to start at 2400. That seems pretty low, but we're just going to try it out and see what happens. I'll hopefully get a good data log, and we will go from there. Alright guys, test pass number 1. We're going to see what happens. I haven't even looked at the track or nothing. I have no idea what's going to happen. And of course there's a dragster next to us, so we're probably not going to be able to hear my own car. Still a stock shifter. So I just got back from making my first pass. The GoPro just stopped recording. It's got battery, it's got plenty of memory in the memory card, and it stopped recording. Don't know what the deal is there. That's not gonna last too long. I'm gonna have to switch to buy an iPhone or something, but it knocked the tires clean off. There's a dragster next to me. I couldn't hear anything. Knocked the tires clean off. So here's what happened. This is pretty much a garbage time slip. 2.0 60 foot, and then I kind of just let off. So we're gonna try it again. All right guys, I know you probably can't see the screen, but I looked at the log and it actually left at 3,500 RPM, so it didn't hit the 2-step, which when I got back here I remembered I have 2 buttons in here now, and I only pushed the trans brake button. I forgot to push the 2-step button, so Everything I did was kind of useless, and I'm gonna have to try it again on this second run. Hopefully the GoPro doesn't die and we get some video. So, all right, guys, we're going up for our second run. I got the first run jitters out, so let's just try to make this all work out. Work. Apparently 2500 is nowhere near enough. It's a really good thing we came to the track today. This was a very last minute decision, and we would have been screwed next weekend if I didn't get some of these bugs worked out. That was the slowest 60 foot ever. I literally went a 2.0 again. It hooked, it just, the two-step was nowhere near enough. So we got a little bit of work to do, but that's why we're here. So we're gonna change a couple of things in the tune-up. Justin's here helping me out. We put it on the trans brake here just a second ago to see how high it would go before it grabbed the converter. And that was right around, it was about 3100-ish. So that's roughly where we're gonna put the two-step at. Justin is adjusting some of the timing and the fuel tables while on the two-step. And he did a few things to help it build some boost a little faster. So we're gonna let the car cool down a little bit. We'll probably do another two-step check before we go up there and try that out, see what happens. And then it didn't go through, so Justin had to redo everything because I fat fingered it. So we did it again, and now we're going to do a two-step check and hopefully get a better result. So see what happens. This is that third pass. This should be pretty good. Number 4. We turn the RPM up. Turn the RPM up 500 on that one. That was a 3650 on the two-step, and that worked way better. I ran all the way out to the quarter mile because I think this might be my last run today. Hopefully I got a log. Yes. Test 4. Now we're talking. Still terrible in this thing. I foot braked 3/10 faster than this. It went at 173 60 foot, 670 in the 8th, and it went at 10, basically a 10.2 in the quarter mile. But it's still only on 15 pounds of boost, and we still haven't got it dialed in all the way yet, but still needs some work. All right, guys, we left the track, heading out. We're gonna try to hit up a car show before the end of the day, try to take advantage of this nice day, but I'm not super disappointed at all with the track session, but I'm not also super stoked. Justin thinks the turbo just sucks, and I'm partially on board with that. I'm not super happy with this turbo either, but this is also like day one of testing and messing with this tune and turbo and stuff at the track. So there's gonna be tricks and tips to try to get it to spool faster. We'll get our launch dialed in and try to get all that stuff happy before I go back to some sort of 78, 75. We went a 170 60 foot, which is god awful. What did we go? 670 in the 8th. It did back half really hard. It went 10-1 in the quarter at 140 mile an hour. And I'm still, the peak boost was 15 pounds. I have full exhaust from the turbo all the way out to the rear bumper, so that's not helping. It's really choking this turbo down. So there's definitely a lot of variables. At the end of the day, I just drove to the track. I made 4 hits. I mean, not quite back to back, but I didn't let it cool down for like an hour or anything. And we're on our way to a car show, so I'm not mad. This car is awesome. Subs in the back, car seat, like full weight and everything. So we just got to get this turbo to spool a little bit faster and kind of go from there. I think I'm gonna struggle hard next weekend at this race. I bet these cars are all gonna, they're probably mostly nitrous cars to where we're going, so they're gonna definitely hit a lot harder, and then I have to play catch up. I can already tell how this is gonna go, but throughout this week I'll try to dial in the two-step and the launch, see what happens. But all right, guys, before I end this video, I wanted to share with you what I had found since I left the track. It's Sunday morning right now. I'm kind of hoping to maybe get this video out today, but on the way home from the track, I had a lot of time to just like think about how the car was reacting and what it was doing and maybe why it was doing that. So on our first test run, we left on the trans brake, but I forgot to push the two-step button. So it left pretty aggressively. It was at like 3,500. It knocked the tires clean off, but you could tell like all the power was there. Anytime after that, I used the two-step button, but the reason why it was so dramatic, and we even left 3,700 RPM was the last run. We left at 3,700, but it still was a dog. So it took me a while to figure it out, and it was pretty obvious now, but at the time I wish I would have remembered and just figured this out at the track. But here's what, this is a timing offset for the two-step. We have this in here just so it pops and bangs and shoots a bunch of flames out of the exhaust. Well, it does help build boost, but at the track it does not work whatsoever. So once I hit the trans brake and the RPM starts coming up, and then as soon as it gets on the two-step, it pulls all of that power out and it really drags the motor down. Works good for popping and banging, but does not work at the track to, I guess, like work with the converter the way it needs to be staged up. So once it launched, it still has all that power pulled out of it, and it takes a long time for it to come back. So that's what happened there. Here's my RPM and my boost. So it took 1.5 seconds to build 5 pounds of boost after I had let off the trans brake, which is about right here. The other run that I checked at the track, it took 3 seconds to build 5 pounds of boost. So I figured it out, and So I turned off the timing table and everything that was activated with the and then late afternoon yesterday, I went and made some test hits on the street, and it went pretty well. It did a 186 60 foot on a bare road, no prep, no burnout, nothing. Went 186, and I let off before the 8th, but I coasted to a 720. That's, I mean, pretty respectable. I let off like 2/3 of the run in 8th mile, so at 80 miles an hour. So that's pretty awesome. Definitely figured out the build and boost in power. I'm also surprised that it hooked up that great on the street. So anyway, I kind of just wanted to share that information with you. Definitely got a few things to do. We're going to verify timing on both car and truck before we go racing next weekend, and see if maybe there's not some hidden power because of a timing difference. So that's it for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. Check out the merch store. We got some cool shirts, hats, hoodies. Anything helps. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.